Hello everyone, it's NerdGasm. Having a keen interest in world history, it would come to no surprise that I find Kang the Conqueror to be one of the coolest villains in the Marvel Universe. Kang is a time traveler with an insatiable hunger for conquest. He wants to rule over an infinite number of worlds and multiverses, an infinite number of timelines. There are many alternate versions of Kang throughout existence. Each travel through time he makes creates a divergent path and a brand new Kang, so explaining the history and backstory of this character is going to be pretty difficult to do. But there is a main or prime version of Kang called Kang the First, and that's the one I will be focusing on primarily in this video to hopefully simplify everything as best I can. Kang is a scholar from the 31st century named Nathaniel Richards, a possible descendant of the Fantastic Four's Reed Richards. Nathaniel would become fascinated with history, and after discovering time-traveling technology, would go back in time to ancient Egypt within a sphinx-shaped time ship, and pose as the pharaoh Rama-Tut. He did so in an attempt to make the mutant En-Sabah-Nur, who would later become known as Apocalypse, his heir. After being defeated by the Fantastic Four in ancient Egypt, Nathaniel would then travel to the 20th century, where he meets Doctor Doom, who he believes might be another one of his ancestors. Nathaniel would design an armor for himself, similar to Doom's, and would begin calling himself the Scarlet Centurion, and do battle with Earth's mightiest heroes, the Avengers. The Scarlet Centurion would have the Avengers face off against alternate reality versions of themselves in the second Avengers Annual from 1968. Following his battle and defeat at the hands of the Avengers, Nathaniel would return to his time in the 31st century, but would overshoot his destination by 1,000 years due to a time storm. Oopsie daisies. He would then find himself in a war-torn alternate future of Earth in the year 4000 AD. Nathaniel would use his advanced technology to conquer this era and reinvented himself as Kang the Conqueror, building a brand new battlesuit, once again inspired by Doctor Doom. Man, he really does love that guy. Like I had previously mentioned, Kang has an unquenchable thirst for conquest. He wants to rule over various worlds and alternate timelines. After each travel through time he makes, another version of himself is created. There have been several incarnations of Kang throughout the years in Marvel Comics, and he has been known by many names throughout history: Rama-Tut, Immortus, Mr. Griffin, and even a teenage version of Nathaniel called Iron Lad, a superhero who modeled his appearance after Tony Stark, Iron Man. In order to maintain control over the various realities he has conquered, Kang will sort through the other versions of himself he creates, weeding out the more incompetent ones in favor of those he deems worthy enough to rule over their respective timelines as a form of figurehead in his absence. The Prime Kang lives in a city-state headquarters of his own creation, called Chronopolis, his ultimate, ever-changing masterpiece. It has access points to all of the eras of time he has conquered, with the more primitive eras located on the outskirts of the city, and the more technologically advanced ones located closer to its center. It's basically a greatest hits of world history, an amalgamation of all the iconic landmarks from each era of time. Kang also has a trophy room where he displays the various artifacts he has collected through his time-traveling journeys, some of which are the heads and busts of alternate reality Marvel heroes he has defeated. Time is such a powerful ongoing force in the universe, often referred to as a fourth dimension, but someone like Kang uses it as if it were a child's plaything. He can travel to any point in the past, present, and future within an infinite number of multiverses. Kang basically exists simultaneously across all of reality. Kang is the ultimate example of a history buff. Everything he does stems from his admiration for history, his love for knowledge and the evolution of civilization. It just so happens that with this knowledge comes the undying want to rule, to conquer. He adores history so much that he wants possession over as much of it as possible. He doesn't want to share his power and control with anyone else. The only reason he allows his underlings, his generals, to oversee their timelines in his place is because it would be too daunting of a task for one person to take on alone, even for someone as powerful as Kang. He does so out of necessity, not because he wants to. Like a lot of villains I have looked at on this channel, Kang the Conqueror is one with a lot of potential. Being that his stories center around time travel, they have seemingly endless possibilities to them. Again, as a lover of world history, this character has always been one of my personal favorite Avengers enemies. I think his backstory and motivations behind what he does are fascinating. But let me know what you think of Kang the Conqueror in the comments section down below. I want to thank you all for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care and stay nerdy.